Hey everyone, and welcome to Comic Breakdown. If you are new to the channel, be sure to hit that sub button, hit that notification bell, make sure that you're not missing any of the content that we have coming out. And today, we are diving into the Dark Multiverse. We are getting Tales from the Dark Multiverse, Wonder Woman, War of the Gods. And this story really is a take on how Wonder Woman could kill the entire Justice League as well as Justice League Dark. Now, Tales of the Dark Multiverse is something that DC has been doing alongside their Dark Knight's Death Metal run. We recently covered Batman Hush, Tales from the Dark Multiverse. And personally, I have to say it was really awesome. It was a unique take on Batman Hush for sure. And this comic is really no different. It's really an awesome take on how Wonder Woman could literally take out all of these characters. So without further ado, let's dive into this issue. So like most of these issues, this picks us up with some narration by Tempest. And he's telling us stories and showing us timelines from the Dark Multiverse. Scenarios that, have never really happened in the DC universe, in the DC multiverse. But with these Dark Multiverses not dying out, these stories are existing. And then they're coming to the surface. And if the Batman Who Laughs gets what he wants, this is essentially what the world would look like. This is what many different multiverses will look like in hundreds of thousands of variations. Now this picks us up with a War of the Gods. And we see gods from all different backgrounds, from all different pantheons. And they're all battling for power. For being the highest, the most powerful god. Now, unbeknown to everybody, Hecate, the goddess of magic, has been manipulating things behind the scenes to a point where she is causing fate to essentially happen. She's manipulating things within the United States government. She's manipulating things with Circe, one of the Greek gods. And with this manipulation, we see the island of Themyscira become revealed to the world. And the American government, now having eyes on it, see it as a threat and declare them hostile and prepare for war. And as Diana and Circe's clash, in the end, it's Circe's greed that destroys her. But for Diana, the fight has only begun. Because with the death of one witch is the birth of another. And this is when the goddess of magic takes her opportunity to try to possess Wonder Woman. And we're taken to what looks like Mount Olympus. And Wonder Woman and her are dueling for pretty much control of Wonder Woman's body. And as this is happening, in real life, her body is frozen. It's suspended by magic. And everybody's staring at her, just trying to figure out what's going on. We have Shazam here, Hawkman, we have Lobo. And they're all trying to figure out what happened because she had won this fight, but now she's in a state of suspense. And back and forth these two battle, and the goddess gains control for just a moment, and all the heroes around her feel it. But in the end, Diana wins this fight and casts the goddess down a ravine and traps her there, pretty much saying, she's trapped somewhere inside of Wonder Woman's mind. And Wonder Woman is keeping her there, holding her there. And then we pick up in Massachusetts at an Air Force base. And we have a general here, but really the general is the god of fear, Phobos. And he is essentially a minion for the goddess of magic. And so what he's doing is essentially making sure that Themyscira is taken off the map. That Wonder Woman has that kind of pain felt, that devastation. They need her in a state of turmoil. And so with a coup, he gets his own pilots onto these jets. And they go and attack Themyscira. And Themyscira is laid to ashes and Wonder Woman's mother is killed. And this is when the goddess takes her opportunity to whisper into the mind of Wonder Woman and tell her pretty much that she needs to go get revenge. Seek revenge against those who did this. And we see Wonder Woman fly into the sky and destroy these fighter jets. Now, days later, they lay Hippolyta, queen of Themyscira, to rest. And the whole time, the witch, the goddess of magic, is whispering in Wonder Woman's ear, polluting her mind and polluting her thoughts. And we find Wonder Woman going down a stairwell, and she has the fighter pilot tied up, and she's gonna start interrogating him. And her interrogation leads her to the god of fear. And this is where Wonder Woman really learns that this was all a plan. Everything was set up to make her hurt, to make her at her weakest point. Because once she got down to her weakest point, the goddess of magic would be able to completely possess her body and take over completely. So with the death of her mother, the death of her friends, the destruction of her homeland, and her feeling as if all of their blood is on Wonder Woman's hands, this puts her to a state so deep that the goddess is able to take over. And what we see is a Lobo type Wonder Woman, and we see the goddess reborn. And inside of Wonder Woman's mind, now she is the one trapped, unable to do anything and cast down into the ravine, trapped forever, or so it seems. And with the goddess of magic in control, her first step is to go take on the Olympians on top of Mount Olympus. And she arrives at the gates and easily dispatches every single one of these gods with ease. And with Zeus fatally wounded, he asks why. And it's simple for her, is she's craving power. She wants more of it. And the gods of Olympus have been worshipped for so long that they're extremely powerful beings. But Zeus lets her know, like, in almost a joking matter, like, we're not the powerful gods we once were. Nobody worships the gods anymore, and that's what once gave us power. But there are others that now exist, other gods that they call superheroes. And so the goddess of magic, her logic here is, then I need to go take the power from these superheroes. And so as Diana fights for her very soul, the daughters of Themyscira find themselves drifting aimlessly without a queen, refugees in a world that hate them. But Superman and Batman try to vouch for them, but it does no good. The prejudice is already in place. And so they turn to pretty much the dark side. They follow this goddess of magic in the skin of Wonder Woman, because she promises to bring upon a new Themyscira. And with this, she lifts Washington, D.C., the White House, from the ground, and she pretty much rebuilds a city in the sky. And this is when the Justice League arrives. They come to speak with Diana to find out exactly what's going on. And after a little bit of banter here, Batman's the first to recognize that this is obviously not Wonder Woman. Like, whoever this individual is not the Diana that Bruce knows. And this is where they all learn this, the goddess of magic. And Batman's the first to try to jump in and take this on headfirst before it gets out of control. But the Flash stops him. He hesitates because at the end of the day, this is Diana. And Barry Allen believes that she is still in there. And so he doesn't want to see her killed or harmed in any sense of the manner. But this hesitation cost Barry Allen his life, because the goddess grabs Barry Allen by the throat and sucks the life out of him instantaneously. And our heroes watch in horror as one by one she takes on every single one of the Justice League. And it really is seeming like nobody's a match for her, and one by one she's sucking the light force out of each one of these heroes. And finally, Superman grabs her and he's just done. He's like, enough. And he is literally just beating the crap out of her. But this is what the goddess wants. She's pushing Superman to the point that he loses control, because all of this gives her more power. And this is when Martian Manhunter steps in, and he goes to try to stop her as well, using telekinesis, but it fails, and she sucks the life force out of John. And Superman goes in to deal the deathly blow to Wonder Woman, but she turns around and thrusts her fist into Superman's chest and rips out his heart. And Wonder Woman's able to do this because of the powers mixed with the goddess, because Superman is vulnerable to magic, and he left his chest open and exposed. And this is when the Justice League Dark shows up. Seeing the Justice League sprawled out on the ground, dead or incapacitated, they immediately go in for the attack and try to restrain her in any kind of way they can. And so they all telekinetically connect their minds all together so that they can try to help Diana out of the cavern that she's stuck in her mind. Now the goddess is slowly taking out our Justice League Dark one by one, and Diana knows what needs to be done here. They need to bind her powers, but doing so is going to come at an ultimate cost. And binding her powers, it takes the life of Shazam. It takes the life of Dr. Fate, of Blue Beetle, of Shadow Stranger. All of these heroes are dead, taken out one by one, or taken out trying to just contain the power that she has. Now, picking up days later in the caves of New Themyscira, Zatanna is here letting her know that she's never going to be able to get out of these chains, because these chains are empowered with her very own magic. And so no matter how strong she is, those cufflinks will always be stronger than she is. And pretty much what this story comes down to is having Wonder Woman locked away and all of our heroes have been taken out. All of our big heavy hitters have been taken out. And darkness has won. Because after this, the world is thrown into chaos. And if there were to ever be any kind of hope, it would be the love that's within Wonder Woman, that's deep down, hidden away and locked away. But the odds are that will never come to fruition again. And that will be the end of this issue. So let me know what you guys think down in the comments. I personally did really enjoy this. You know, it was really awesome seeing the goddess witch possess Wonder Woman and essentially give her the ability to be able to take on the entire Justice League and Justice League Dark as if it were absolutely nothing. And it literally took handfuls of super ridiculously powerful magicians and mages and sorcerers to actually even do anything to her. Because at the end of the day, she is literally the creator of magic. She is where magic began. And so this is the only way that they can ever do anything. And we can only assume that in time she will get released. Eventually these heroes are going to die out. Eventually the world will turn against them. And eventually she's going to be free from those cuffs. And we can only imagine what kind of devastation she's going to lay upon the world. And we might even be able to get to see her in Dark Knight's Death Metal coming features, which would be really, really exciting to see if the Batman Who Laughs had freed her. But yeah, let me know what you guys think down in the comments. If you have not yet, please be sure to like this page, subscribe to the channel, and hit that notification bell. And until the next video,